GearNetwork.com.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm here to let you know that this podcast is sponsored by our store through Amazon. If you visit GearNetwork.com and click on the Amazon banner, it will take you directly to Amazon.com, and you can do all of your Amazon shopping. If you want it, Amazon has it at often the greatest prices, and it can be delivered right to your front door. And when you use it, you tell Amazon that we're referring you to them for your shopping, so they kick the network back a little something to help out with our production costs. There legitimately is no extra cost to you, and this legitimately helps out the Gear Network when you shop through our link that's on GearNetwork.com. Click the Amazon banner, bookmark, save, and share. If you use it, please accept our thanks. If you do not use it, please consider doing so. Again, that is GearNetwork.com, and click on the Amazon banner at the top. This is a Gear Network production.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in suburban Rochester, New York, this is the Football Talk Weekly Podcast, starring John Cimino and Brandon Gorell with insight on fantasy football and more. Now, here's JC.
Season premiere time, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are all of you? I hope that some of you from Talking Wrestling followed me over because you like football, but if you didn't, well, F you. But
yeah,
no,
tell your friends too.
Seriously, we would like it if y'all came over there. You gotta like more than just wrestling, guys.
Yeah,
anyways,
expand your horizons.
Anyways, how is it going? John Cimino here with you, alongside my eyesore for the Football Talk Weekly Podcast, or FTW Podcast, or whatever we may change our name to, depending on certain situations. Mr. Brandon Gorell is here. Brandon, say what's up to the listening people.
Oh, what's up, listening people?
All right, and as always, this podcast is sponsored by Amazon, and specifically Amazon Prime. You're going to hear the commercial about it a little later on. There are 3 different types of Prime. Choose which one for you, but either way, choose it through us, through Gear. We can get you 30 days free of charge, and we get a special bonus even if you do not keep it before the 30 days. It's pretty awesome.
That's right.
They hook us up.
They do.
So what's up, Brandon, man? We are finally here in what I like to call Ball Soup Central here.
Yeah, it's pretty swampy up here.
It is hot as balls out here for those of you.
Yeah, my boys have been swimming all summer. It's been gross.
All right, so for those of you listeners returning from last season or new ones that are coming in, let me just kind of run over the format for you. This podcast is football centric. Now, originally we went under the idea of going fantasy football, and that lasted, I think, maybe about 4 weeks before.
Well, we're not good at fantasy football, so
I won money.
Stick to what we know.
I won money in 1 league last year, and I played in 6 of them. So that's
not a good percentage.
No, it's not a good percentage at all.
1 for 6.
But
you'd be DFA'd in the major leagues.
Probably, yes. Or forced into a Yankee special advisor role. But yes, we specifically talked football. I'm going to put this disclaimer out here right now. We probably will not be doing that solely as the weeks go on. If there is something in sports that catches our eye or whatever we want to talk about, maybe we'll talk about it, since we kind of don't really have a sports show regularly anymore here, so on Gear. So look for that. But for the most part, football is king, ladies and gentlemen, and that is what we are here to do. So let's talk a little football, shall we? First bit of news, Tony Romo. That poor guy, at this point, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I'm not a Cowboys fan. However, I am a human. And the human side of me is telling me that 2013, you hurt your back. 2014, you hurt your clavicle. 2015, you hurt your clavicle again twice. 2016, you hurt your back. Father Time's telling you something, I think. I think it's time. And I know it's not the ideal way to go out, but in my personal opinion, Tony Romo should probably retire. For those of you that didn't know, he went down, I want to say 2 or 3 plays into
it was not a bad hit or anything.
No,
either. It was
just he got hit.
He is Mr. Glass.
He got hit.
Unbreakable too.
Messed a vertebrae in his back. He's going to be out for at least 6 to 10 weeks. I'm going to throw it out there right now, and I'll pass it off to you for this one, Brandon, after that, but I'm thinking Tony Romo needs to retire at this point, because if he comes back, he could possibly risk a super serious injury at this point. Not that any of his injuries before were serious, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, you start talking about vertebrae and backs. Your back is a key component to you walking around and feeling good, and after he retires, he's going to be a complete disaster. So if he goes and continues to do this with these back, issues, and he gets something even worse, that guy's going to be going up there for his Hall of Fame if he makes it. Acceptance speech in a wheelchair or a walker. He's going to look like the saddest looking 50-year-old you've ever seen. I don't want to say that maybe he should get out, but maybe he should get out because it's getting kind of ridiculous. And I hear these Cowboy fans and these Romo apologizers who come up here and defend him like, well, outside of last season, how many games did he actually miss? It's like, okay, great. He played with a lot of injuries.
He's missed, awesome. I think, 23 or 25 games in the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So that right there, maybe a little longer than that. Now that I think about it,
it's longer than that. I looked it up, and
that's a lot of football.
Yeah, he has, and he's had significant injuries, and not only just a significant injury, but he's re-injuring injuries that he's already had.
Right.
Supposedly healthy, ready to go, and then one hit, and he's back on the old sidelines again with a sling or a back brace or whatever it may be.
Right.
It's getting kind of out of hand. I've never been a big fan. I don't hate him the way other people do. I don't think he's overrated, so to speak. But
I would have taken him on my team.
Yeah, it's kind of the way it goes. Being Dallas's quarterback, you're going to get the whoopsie. So you're going to get that. You're going to get that all the time. Being Dallas' quarterback, especially when you have that buffoon for an owner who thinks that every single season starts, the Dallas Cowboys have a chance to win the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy's so far removed from his last Super Bowl. I mean,
have you seen?
He had brown hair when they had a Super Bowl last.
That's true. The last Clinton was president.
Exactly.
But have you seen the new Dallas Cowboys training facility that he had built?
Yeah.
I gotta say, the
guy spends his money.
You can say what you want about Jerry Jones, but he does spend his money for his team and provides. So
yeah, it's Dallas sports.
If I were a player, I would absolutely want to play there.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. But to say that they're Super Bowl contenders every single year, I mean, that's just nonsense. I mean, he's got to one up the cubes.
Dak Prescott lovers are already anointing him as a Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, he's going to... If he can learn to hand the ball off and just let go, that would be a good thing. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I see another 5-11 season in their future. Maybe 6-10 if they're lucky, but...
I'd say I'll give him 6-10.
Romo might come back, and he's probably going to go right back down again. The guy's he just can't stay healthy anymore.
He can't. He's had too much damage. He was rushed back too early last year.
Yeah,
and that was evident.
Now he had a whole off season, and then he goes out there and he does a slide and gets hit, and then all of a sudden, my back's broken.
6 to 10 weeks.
It's ridiculous.
It's
you can't make it up.
Right, exactly. Just got a breaking news alert here from our friends at CBS Sports. Jets wide receiver Devin Smith, who's rehabbing from a torn ACL, is placed on the pup list. Yes, physically unable to perform list, out for the first 6 weeks of the season. I don't think it's going to hurt the Jets too bad, but still, you don't want to start the season that way.
It's better than being on the sup list,
right? So, very good. So since there isn't any, I'm not going to go over the scores of the preseason because
nobody cares.
Who cares? I will say that I watched last night's MetLife Bowl.
Oh,
I watched it this morning because NFL Network aired it this morning.
Oh, that's good.
And I was able to see, Bryce Petty and Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah,
and Hackenberg going into the game. Going into actually his career, they were talking about his accuracy issues, and they weren't sure if he was good enough to be a number 2 draft pick. And even though he set Penn State records and this, but it was his accuracy, it was his delivery, and they kind of talked about him as being a project quarterback, kind of thing. He goes out there and in his first drive, and I get it.
It's
against
preseason.
Third stringers, preseason, whatever. But he's playing on against people that are equivalent on his level, I would say, at this point. and he was able to take that down, and some of the throws that he had were on the money and were pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a week one starter,
No,
but I think he can.
fits, so
I think
he's
he
gonna be
can
fine.
improve on that.
Yeah.
And
And somewhere Geno Smith is cursing up a storm.
right, and to that point, Bryce Petty
Yeah.
has looked like a different Bryce Petty this preseason than he did last preseason.
Right.
He's had a whole year to sit and think about it. I think Bryce Petty, and the Jets fan in me is really hoping for this, but I think Bryce Petty could knock Geno out at number 2.
Yeah, it's possible. And then what happens to Geno? Dallas backup?
I would say at that point, and unlike Charlie Casserly, who said that Geno Smith is the, quote, best backup quarterback in the NFL today.
I tell you.
I don't know. I would fancy that there are other
there's a lot
quarterbacks
better
that are
ones.
better, like A.J. McCarron or, Matt Moore or whoever. But,
Yeah.
Anyways, I would fancy that
Jay Cutler.
if
Oh, wait, he's a starter.
he's the starter.
Oh, all right.
But, that might be a good fit for
He should be a
for
second
Geno.
stringer.
But if he loses out, there's 2 scenarios that I could see playing out here. Christian Hackenberg put on the practice squad
Yeah.
for his rookie season, which wouldn't really be a bad thing, especially
No.
if he's a project quarterback. And Geno being third, or Christian Hackenberg being third, Geno either getting cut or traded for a 7th rounder or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to say, I think Geno's days are numbered. You don't just keep drafting quarterbacks, whether they be projects or not, because you have faith in that guy. You don't play the games you do to get Ryan Fitzpatrick back. I mean, you're not
Right.
talking about the Messiah coming in.
Right.
They treated him like the Messiah,
Right.
but
Well,
that
who
doesn't
have
say
they
a lot
had?
for Geno Smith.
Who have they had since Chad Pennington?
Yeah.
Chad Pennington
Chad
was their
Pennington.
longest term quarterback
Yeah.
in this century.
It's true, and I get that, but I mean, bite the bullet for a season. But I think that they think because they've got enough veteran guys that they think they can put it all together and make a playoff run. They're not going to win a Super Bowl, but they have a chance to get to the playoffs, and I think that's why they wanted Fitz so bad. But if Geno Smith was so good as the number 2, they wouldn't have worried. They would have moved on
Right.
and said, you know what, Geno,
Absolutely.
you're our guy. And
Yeah,
they know he's
absolutely.
not the guy, and I don't even
they-
think he's the number 2 guy, especially if they've got 2 projects in the background here.
Here are the quarterback stats for, again, preseason, but
Right.
when you're talking about a competition, especially for the 2, 3, and 4 spots here.
Right.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, obviously the starter. Total 16 for 29, 183 yards, 1 touchdown. Then you've got Geno Smith, who is 17 of 32, 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Compare that with Bryce Petty, who's been on the field as long, if not longer, than Geno Smith after the last game. 28 of 50, 394 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. With a quarterback rating of 86.6 to Geno's 62. You got Hackenberg, who saw his first action the 3rd week of the preseason, 6 for 16, 105 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Yeah.
55.5 rating. But
He's a project.
But he's a project.
And he's either going to be your 3rd or practice squad QB.
Exactly.
And you work with him.
I honestly think that they would be making a mistake if they didn't capitalize on Petty. And because he's really actually looked rather decent, honestly, for a backup. He's not a starter just yet, but that is what it is. All right, so on this episode, since we are kicking it off here, and our next episode will likely be after kickoff, after the Week 1 games are in the books, and we can go into, scoring and opinions and stuff like that, we're going to do what we did the first episode last season, and that's kind of go through each division. We don't have to give specific records like we did,
and
everything like
our
that.
rookie
But
season.
just kind of whip through the divisions here, pick our winners, AFC, NFC, and then we'll go into the playoffs. I actually should probably... Playoffs? I actually should write this down here. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to a commercial real quick while I go get something to write with. And when we come back, we will go through AFC and NFC predictions for the regular season. This is Football Talk Weekly, or whatever you want to call us. here on the Gear Radio Network. You know, I'm often asked about the logos of the show and Gear Network and everything. It comes to me, JC, where do you get the designs, the cool designs for the show and everything? And I want to tell you, I'm going to tell everybody right now, right here, you heard it here, it is Indie Card Media. Indie Card Media is a local business that specializes in making quality designs for your website or your business. Whatever you do, they can do it. If you need proof, you can look at all of our logos, or you can go to facebook.com/IndieCardMedia to see all of the designs, which include a political banner, because they've done political banners and everything. Nothing is off limits with them. Give Eric a shout at IndieCardMafia@gmail.com, and he will help you bring your design to life. Tell him Gear Network sent you, and hey, he may hook you up with a little something, or at least a smile, because you heard it here. But go to IndieCard Media at Facebook. Again, facebook.com/IndieCard Media. Do it now. Bring your designs to life. It's that time of year again, folks. The dog days of summer, and time to think about back-to-school shopping. Now save your time, save your money, and save your patience. Instead of going to Walmart and waiting in one line that's open out of 26, with 7,000 people in line ahead of you, go to GearNetwork.com/Amazon and click on the Back to School banner, and it will take you right to your account, and you can shop right there. And what's new this year, if you go there and you enter in your zip code, it's going to bring up the list of schools near your area. You can choose one and the grade that you're shopping for, and it's going to bring up the school list for that grade for that school. So you can cross-reference your school supply needs based on the list that was provided to Amazon. Sweet feature this year. Saves you a lot of time. Again, GearNetwork.com/Amazon. Click the Back to School link. Do your shopping through there. It helps us out. It helps you out. And it definitely does not help Walmart out, but they don't need help anyway. So, again, thank you for bookmarking and saving and sharing our links to Amazon through GearNetwork.com. All right, we're back here on Football Talk Weekly, everybody. I've got a pen. I've got a paper. And now we're going to have some predictions, Brandon. Let's start AFC East. Pats, Dolphins, Bills, Jets. Let's just start division winners here. Okay? Who you got?
Still New England. I don't think anybody's going to challenge them, even with Brady out the first 4 games.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say New England as well. I'm gonna give them 13-3. I know I said we're not calling the records of everybody. I don't see.
I see 12-4.
You see 12-4. You think
I see him losing one with Brady and one with Garoppolo.
Okay, but we're
both gonna go Pats.
Both have the Pats there. AFC North: Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, and the Browns. Who you got?
I got Pittsburgh.
You're going to take Pittsburgh?
Yeah, even without Le'Veon Bell, as long as Roethlisberger's staying upright, he's going to be chucking the ball all over the place. I can't stop Antonio Brown.
I'm gonna say Pittsburgh as well. He has weapons.
Yeah.
He has weapons now, and he's not afraid to get hit.
Yeah,
he's big. Yeah, Big Ben. So we'll go ahead. We'll take Pittsburgh.
He's done using that other weapon he had. Ether rags.
Ooh.
Sorry, Steeler fan.
Oh, we'll leave that one alone here.
I know he's all born again and stuff, but
Ether rags.
Don't change his stripes.
Jesus Christ, you watch too many Undertaker Ministry of Darkness matches. AFC South, Brandon. Texans, Titans, Colts, Jags, go.
Ooh, this one's a tough one because it's a giant conglomerate of turd. It's still one of the worst divisions, but it's improving. I'm going to go in a sneaky surprise.
For the record, I'm going to snag out that, you just had that.
All right. I'm going to go with Tennessee.
You're going to take Tennessee?
I am. I'm going to go with the upsetter.
Wow. All right.
I think Mariota will come into his own this year. They added DeMarco Murray. The defense was coming around last year. They made decent draft picks. I don't know. I'm just not sold with the rest of them. I'm not sold on Brock Osweiler.
I'm not sold on that division entirely. But I will say of the 4 teams there, I can see your case with Tennessee. Mariota coming into his own, also signing DeMarco Murray. I'm going to, you know what? What the hell?
Not so fast.
I'm going to take the Jaguars.
Oh, they're going to be 0-1 though.
That's going to be my surprise pick for the AFC South, the least cared about division I think in all of football right now. The AFC West, Brandon. Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, a radically different AFC West now that the sheriff is not in town. Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, who you got?
This is going to be a tough one because it could go to anybody except for San Diego. I'm sorry. You could show me your lightning bolt all you want, but I don't think you're going anywhere.
I don't disagree.
Denver's got terrible problems with quarterback right now, but they've got that nasty, nasty defense. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl with the Ravens defense just as nasty.
So Trevor Siemian is your guy?
No, not really. I don't want to do this because their owner looks like a hard-boiled egg. But I almost want to say the Raiders have a chance.
Take Las Vegas?
Well, they're Oakland still. But honestly, but the thing is, then the Chiefs will do what they always do, which they'll start off on a terrible start. They'll go 0-2 or 1-3, and then everyone's like, oh, Andy Reid's washed up, and then they'll go 10-1 down the stretch, and then they'll win the division again. But I'm going to go wild, I'm going to go crazy, and I'm going to go Oakland.
Going to go Oakland?
I like Derek Carr, and that defense is getting nasty. Khalil Mack. Whew.
Not so
That dude's
fast.
scary.
I'm taking KC.
All right.
That's just,
that's a good pick.
I think that's the comfort food for the AFC West because Andy Reid runs Andy Reid offense. He still has pretty much all of the pieces that made that incredible run last year into the playoffs. They don't have Peyton Manning to contend with on the offensive side when they play the Broncos twice, and I think that's going to be a major factor. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say the Chiefs take the division.
Okay.
All right. So what we have here for the AFC, as far as the playoffs are concerned, actually, you know what, Brandon, your wild card picks.
My wild card picks
for the AFC. Let's do that.
I'm gonna go. This is gonna be crazy. Are you ready for it?
Go ahead.
Buffalo and the Jets.
Buffalo and the Jets.
Yeah, I think the AFC East is gonna find a way to claw in there. Well, no, sorry. I'm gonna go Buffalo, Cincinnati.
It's happened before with
yeah, but Cincinnati's around. I think
Okay.
Cincinnati will get a wild card. I think it's going to be Buffalo and Cincinnati.
You're going to say Buffalo
I think this
and
is fine.
Cincinnati?
They're their year, but I think they're going to lose in the first round.
Okay. That is you. You're going to say Buffalo, Cincinnati. I'm going to... Honestly, I'm going to be a homer here. I don't care. I'm going to take the Jets and Cincinnati as well. So we both agree on...
It's a toss-up, man, because the Jets could go.
I agree. I think it's a toss-up between the Bills and the Jets. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Bills in there or the Jets in there. I don't think both will go in there. I could be wrong, but
that'd be really hard.
It really wouldn't surprise me.
It's a lot of eating your own.
Yes.
You'd have to really just kind of go gangbusters outside your division.
Yes.
All right. Have to split everything else.
Okay, so for the AFC, Brandon's picks are New England, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and Oakland is the division winners. Wild card, Buffalo and Cincinnati.
Those are my Lochte picks.
I've officially said it and announced it. You can't go back. All right, mine are New England, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, and Kansas City, with the Jets and Cincinnati as the wild card. All right, so let's move right along to the NFC. As soon as the stupid thing loads for me here, and we're going to start with the NFC.
What
East.
is the NFC? What teams do they have in there?
At this point, man, I have no idea, but we got to go through it. So, Eagles, Redskins, Cowboys, Giants, NFC East, Mr. Brandon Gorell, proceed.
I'm going back with Washington again.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to counter that with anything. I'm going Washington as well. They've got something good going there. I already know how this one's going to roll, but I got to do it anyways. Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears.
I'm going to go with a team in Wisconsin. Green Bay.
All right. I think we both are going to go with Green Bay there. So let me just write that down here. So, ironically enough, in the East and the North and the East, and both AFC and NFC, we both agree. And NFC South, Falcons, Bucks, Panthers, Saints.
Panthers are still a team to beat in there.
Panthers are now prior to last year, no team won the NFC South 2 times in a row.
Yeah, but you know what?
Carolina did that.
Yeah, he's getting wide receivers back too.
You got Calvin Benjamin back. You're right.
Yeah.
So you're going to
two of them. There's 2 guys coming back.
You're going to take Carolina.
Yeah, I'm taking Carolina.
I will as well. There's nothing.
Cam's still going to be dabbing.
I'm not. I part of me wanted to take the Falcons. No, he retired the dab. He's going to retire the dab this season.
What?
He said that he was retiring the dab this season. But there is. I want to get behind the Dirty Birds so bad.
No, you don't.
I do because I like Matt Ryan and I like Julio Jones. But they teased us pretty bad last year.
Yeah.
6 or 7, I think they put off. 6 or 7,
Yeah.
7-0, and then just...
Yep.
So, and that's what they do. That's what the Falcons
Take
do.
a big old dirty bird poop right on everybody.
And while famous Jameis and the Buccaneers are improving, they're not
They're not there yet.
Division.
They're another year or two away.
So Carolina is the team to beat in the South, and then in the NFC West we have the Los Angeles Rams this year, the Seattle Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers. With or without Colin Kaepernick, and the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon, who you got there?
I still got Arizona. Arizona is going to return people. I think they'll be hungry after last year's embarrassment in the NFC title game. Seattle will give them a challenge. The Rams will be very tough. San Francisco is just going to suck all around. So, yeah, I got Arizona.
I'm going to agree with you there too. So we are in full agreement with the NFC.
A lot of lockstep there.
Washington. Well, you know what? They haven't really done anything to establish themselves as anything.
Nobody's made any big moves.
Right, exactly. It's kind of purgatory right now in the NFC. So the old guards from last year will be the guards from this year. Washington, Green Bay, Carolina, Arizona. We both agree. All right. So wild card. Throw me your wild card picks.
I'm gonna go Minnesota. And Seattle.
Okay. Minnesota and Seattle. I am going to, just for the hell of it, I will also take Seattle. And then I'm going to...
Not so fast!
On Minnesota. I'm not a believer. I am not a believer in Teddy Bridgewater.
You don't have to be. That defense is good, and Peterson's going to still put up a lot of yards.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be enough to win.
I could be. I just don't want to see it.
I don't either. I hate them more than anybody, but...
I know you do. It's kind of like me picking the Patriots or whatever.
I think the Bears are irrelevant now, so I can't hate them as much.
I'm going to say, what the hell? Why not? Let's go Dirty Birds. I'm putting the Dirty Birds.
All right.
Yep.
Matthew Ice.
Matty Ice, you're on the clock. You make it to the playoffs, you owe me a brewski. All right, so rundown for the NFC. Both of us are in agreement on the division winners. Washington, Green Bay, Carolina, Arizona. Wild card, Minnesota, Seattle for Brandon. And Seattle and the Dirty Birds for me. So that's a great way to go into a commercial break.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into a commercial break. When we come back, we will talk playoffs.
I can't wait to see Week 8 when all this goes wrong.
Oh, yes. Well,
the Eagles are in first. Washington hasn't won a game yet.
Buffalo's running the table.
Buffalo's running the table. The LA Rams are writing their Hollywood story.
All right, but let's, you know what? Hey, maybe that. But
the Raiders getting a moving van and move to Vegas in a rogue move mid-season.
Right.
Because the toilets overflow in Oakland.
That'd be amazing. But, all right, we'll come back right after this with the playoff predictions. Stick around.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. Gabriel Soul.
And I'm Pat G.
The G stands for gangster. And you are listening to the Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast, baby.
Every week live and exclusively on the Gear Network,
where we talk about indie wrestling, national wrestling, WWE, TNA, ROH, every single independent wrestling scene that we get information on, plus our opinions on such.
Find it only on the Gear Network app, iTunes, and more.
You always got to go to GearNetwork.com to tune in and listen to my voice every single week, because I know you love it. And the reason why is because you get eargasms, baby.
And if you want those eargasms, tune in every week. Otherwise, we only have one word for you.
Cyclone!
Hey everyone, John Cimino here for Amazon Prime. If you've thought of signing up for Amazon but we're afraid to pull the trigger on that because it's $99 for a year and it's one flat price, even though there's awesome benefits to it, I got great news for you. Amazon has now given you a variety of options to try Prime. First of all, you can either try Amazon Prime Video for $8.99 a month, which is cheaper than Netflix, and it also gives you unlimited movies and TV shows, including HD, Ultra HD, and HDR when available at no additional charge. You can try Amazon Prime Monthly for $10.99 a month, which is equivalent to Netflix, but in addition, you'll get free 2-day shipping, unlimited movies, TV, and music streaming, access to over 1 million ebooks, free unlimited photo storage, and free same-day delivery in eligible areas. Perhaps those drones? Maybe, maybe not. Not sure. Or if you're old school like me, you pay $99 a year annually, and you get all the benefits of Prime Monthly. Plus, you can save 25% with prepayment discount added. It's an added feature for you yearly folks. Don't think they forgot about you. You can go ahead to GearNetwork.com. That's GERE Network.com. Click on our Amazon banner, our Amazon Prime banner, and we can hook you up with a free 30-day trial through us. This podcast does receive a special bonus if you sign up for Prime using us. And that's even if you don't keep it, but we think you will, because it's awesome, and if you shop Amazon frequently like I do, that free 2-day shipping is a lifesaver. As always, thank you for bookmarking and sharing our link at GearNetwork.com. Hey, Dawn, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America, that one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that.
And a little what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger.
Humdinger.
Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
That's right, Brandon. This is an off-air inside joke, my friends. Welcome back to Football Talk Weekly. Sweet Home Alabama!
Oh, what the hell? There's literally a bazillion songs out there that we could have chosen from.
We came back to Party All the Time one episode.
I'd prefer to hear that 7 out of 7 days.
Don't you worry. We'll get Party All the Time back on here. All right. So where we left off, again, as a recap here, AFC, Brandon had New England, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Oakland, Buffalo, Cincinnati for the wild cards. I had New England, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Kansas City with New York Jets and Cincinnati as the wild cards. The NFC, we all were in agreement in the divisions. Washington, Green Bay, Carolina, Arizona. Brandon had Minnesota and Seattle. The Seattle Seahawks. I can't sing. For the wild card, and I had Seattle and the Atlanta Dirty Birds. Falcons, don't let me down, please. You're my wild card pick in the the NFC, excuse me. All right, so we've got our playoff set. Brandon, New England, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Oakland, Buffalo, Cincinnati. Of those 6 teams, what is your AFC championship prediction?
AFC championship. I got Pittsburgh v. New England.
Pittsburgh versus New England?
Yep.
All right, and who is your winner of that?
New England on a last 2-minute drive by Tom Brady. And he drops down to his knees and flips double birds up to Roger Goodell.
All right. So, Brandon, you're picking New England representing the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I'm going to look. Let me look over my list here. I'm going to say the same as far as the championship game, but I'll not so fast you on there. I'm going to choose Pittsburgh.
Oh.
I think if they're going to contend and they're going to... I think this is the best year for them. I think they now have a solid season of Antonio Brown. He's got something to prove. It's a contract year for him.
Yep.
There's also a Lamborghini in it for him, too, with a side bet with Brandon Marshall. But that being said, as much as I hate this, and Gabriel Soul, if you are listening, I will censor myself here, but you, I hate the Steelers. That being said, I'm going my Super Bowl prediction, which will hopefully be wrong by week 6. Pittsburgh for me, New England for Brandon. Okay, the NFC, Washington, Green Bay, Carolina, Arizona, Minnesota, Seattle. Of the 6, what's your NFC Championship game?
Green Bay versus Carolina. with Green Bay winning.
You're going to go Green Bay?
Yeah, I think this is the year they finally put it all together. They're going to get a Jordy Nelson. They got a healthy and fit-looking Eddie Lacy. Randall Cobb's back. They got Jared Cook's going to be a wild card at tight end. I think he's going to have a huge season. I mean, yesterday's first preseason game with Rodgers, 4 of his 5 passes went to Cook. He was in sync already with a brand new guy, and that guy's a beast. And the defense is looking strong. The secondary looks seasoned now. They got those rookies, had good rookie years. They're going to have even better second years. They're just going to have too much, and they're going to get by everybody.
All right, so you have your Super Bowl as New England and Green Bay.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to agree with you with Green Bay. And instead of Carolina, I'm taking Arizona.
Yeah, that was my second choice.
I'm going to say that Arizona is going to make it there to the NFC Championship game against Green Bay. And sorry, Brandon.
Ha!
I've got Arizona over Green Bay. It's going to be Pittsburgh and Arizona, a Super Bowl rematch from
you
so
could have
many
done a
years
better
ago.
Super Bowl rematch.
I could
For
have.
Green Bay.
I could have.
Same result.
But I think that...
You think Carson Palmer is going to take him to the promised land?
I think that... No, not Carson Palmer, specifically. I think that team together, especially with some of the younger talent, the Michael Floyds, and their defense, I think, will do enough to... I don't want to say cruise through the NFC East, but kind of limp through the not the NFC East, the NFC entirely, kind of limp through there. I think that they put pressure on Rodgers. It's a tough one, but I think for argument's sake, I'm just going to take Arizona just for the hell of it. You have New England and Green Bay. I have Pittsburgh and Arizona. So it's your Super Sunday. Are you going Homer?
Yeah, I'm going Homer, man. It's not just Homer. It's based in statistics and facts and talent. I just think they got it this year.
I think that
Rodgers needs that second ring, and I think he knows it.
In your Super Bowl, I would take Green Bay over New England, not because of New England's offense, but New England's defense.
Yeah,
I think Rodgers would shred New England's defense.
I think so too, and that's why I wanted
Green
to see
Bay.
that.
I think Green Bay's defense is serviceable enough to where Brady's not going to make them look like complete fools, but he's not going to. I don't think it's going to be a rough day at the office.
I mean, look
him.
at that game they played, that classic they played at Lambeau 2 years ago. I wanted that rematch in the Super Bowl, and they didn't get it, unfortunately.
So
they blew it to Seattle.
In your Super Bowl, I will agree with you. I will take Green Bay over New England. In my Super Bowl, Pittsburgh and Arizona. Oh, boy. Carson Palmer, product of USC. They don't really do anything. So, as begrudgingly...
Unless you're Marcus Allen.
Begrudgingly, I am going to take Pittsburgh's offense over Arizona's defense. I terribly want to be wrong, but Pittsburgh's offense, when healthy, is pretty damn good. So my Super Bowl, I would take... I'm going to circle it, and I'm going to stick by it. Pittsburgh over Arizona. I think this is Pittsburgh's year.
Ugh. Just made me throw up my mouth a little bit.
All right, my Super Bowl, who you got?
Your Super Bowl, I have Arizona. I can't pick Pittsburgh. This is not okay with me. I don't need their loudmouth fans talking about more rings and... Yeah, I just don't...
It'd be kind of like...
Roethlisberger having more Super Bowls than Rodgers.
He already does.
He already does, but Rodgers should catch him this year, and...
All right, let's...
I just don't... Yeah, Roethlisberger has 2, right?
Roethlisberger has 2.
Yeah.
He beat Seattle and won with that famous touchdown where the top of his helmet crossed the plane and not the ball.
Yeah.
And then the second one with the last second
one
touchdown
against
to Arizona, to
Santonio
Holmes
Holmes
over Arizona, which
Yeah.
It was a perfectly thrown ball. There was really nothing they could do about it.
No.
So you got to give the double his due there. But all right, let's kind of flip it here.
Ooh.
Let's say Pittsburgh versus Green Bay.
Oh, Pittsburgh's gonna get smoked.
You think
all day?
You think that Green Bay's defense could hold down
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's offense?
Yeah,
because I'm sure that Green Bay's offense could have fun with Pittsburgh's defense.
Yeah.
The defense isn't very good, but
I just think it's their year. I think that they've got the tools this year. I don't really see anybody.
They
that
had
can
the
beat
tools
them.
last year, and I picked them, and I jinxed it, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I mean
Not doing it.
They had a lot of injuries last year.
But if it were Pittsburgh, Green Bay, I'd take Green Bay as well. All right.
Yeah.
If the Super Bowl were New England and Arizona,
New England and Arizona.
who would you have?
I'd take New England again.
You'd take New England?
Yeah. I can't
Really?
see Carson Palmer outdueling anybody. I just can't. It's going to come down to him at some point. He can't just get by on that defense. That defense is not that good. They're not Denver good.
They're not. No, they are not.
And Palmer has to do something, and I saw what he needed to do last year against Carolina, and he completely crapped the bed. I mean, a coin flip goes a different way.
Right.
He probably loses
Right.
in overtime, doesn't even get there, and it's Green Bay going.
True. That's true.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't believe in Carson Palmer.
I would take New England over Arizona as well.
Yeah.
And that's more the Tom
with
Brady,
him
Tom Brady
doing
factor.
backflips and giving birds afterwards.
Yeah. Well, when Goodell would have to hand the trophy over.
Stone Cold Stunner.
At that
I
point,
would love it.
At that point, like I said this last year.
He RKO's him through the stage.
I said this last year when they were talking about possibly the Patriots running the table.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good shot of it, and then I said that if they ran the table, I would personally get behind them and want them to win because I would want to see the trophy handoff and the look on Goodell's face.
Yeah.
So if New England gets to the Super Bowl, unless they're playing Green Bay,
I'll be fully in New England's pocket if it's not against Green Bay.
I just
want
because
see
I
it.
want to see it. That's all I want to see. Is
the
handoff.
uncomfort.
Yes.
I want to see the discomfort.
We are very much fans of train
Brady's
wrecks.
just so smart. He would say something that would be a direct dig, but not have to say anything at all.
Right.
And it would just blow his face right off. And nobody likes Goodell. Maybe his wife does. That's about all I can think of.
His wife doesn't like him.
Nobody likes that guy, and I would love nothing more. I mean, remember when Spygate happened? Mm-hmm. And what happens next season? They go undefeated.
Yep.
They seem to rally around controversy.
They were within
and rally around it.
They were close enough to beating the Broncos to actually get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They almost got there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if last year's Patriots went against the Carolina Panthers, who do you think would have won that one?
It would have been.
Do you think it would have been the Patriots?
It would still been Patriots, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Cam
I
looked
think
lost
so.
out there.
He did.
He was not ready for prime time.
It's not a national championship game where you're playing against a mix of incoming high schoolers and outgoing NFL players,
college players.
You're going against grown men.
Yeah, he did not look. I mean, Denver made him look really bad.
Mm-hmm.
He just had no time to throw. He had no options to throw to. It was a mess. He would have had a better game, but Peyton Manning didn't have a great game, and they still got enough to win. So I think with Brady and his Super Bowl moxie, he dismantled the Seahawks when they played him last time. That defense was supposed to shut him down, and he had maybe a couple bad series, but he put up some serious numbers against them. So,
all right,
yeah, I wouldn't see anybody beating them.
All right,
unless it was Green Bay.
Well, that's going to take care of our preseason predictions, which are
Who wouldn't love to see Rodgers Brady in the Super Bowl though?
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
That would be a great.
I wouldn't
Super
mind
Bowl.
seeing it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Rodgers Roethlisberger either because
again,
yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it.
Fond memories of that game.
As do I. I would say as do I, but I was very, very intoxicated.
Yes, you were.
And my daughter was my oldest daughter was in her car seat pretty much the entire time sleeping.
While your wife gave you dagger eyes.
Yep, it's not a
producer of this show.
You should see when
co-producer.
You should see when we do Get Ready America, and I say something, and those dagger eyes. It's like
those are
Who
called
Framed Roger
divorce
Rabbit,
eyes.
but yes, I made a Who Framed Roger Rabbit reference. If you don't know who Roger Rabbit is, go freaking Google it.
Right.
All right. So, hey, college football starts this week too.
Yeah.
Big slate of games starting on Thursday, going through Monday. The one that you and I will be paying a lot of attention to, Sunday, September 4th, 7:30 p.m. on the American Broadcasting Company. Notre Dame and Texas. Notre Dame comes in at number 10 on the season.
Yep.
On the season. Season hasn't started yet.
Just
But anyways,
4 over their
number 10.
arrests.
Right, exactly. Given that situation, Brandon, who you got?
I still got Notre Dame winning that game because Texas hasn't got enough to keep up with them, even with those missing players and the controversy.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't see the season I saw beforehand, before all this knuckleheadedness happened.
Right.
Very disappointed in them.
That was pretty awful.
Yep.
But
They went Miami Hurricanes on us.
Yeah, pretty much the U. All right, and since we are not going to be, our next podcast will be after week 1 of the NFL season, as per tradition. We usually do the Thursday night football game. So the Thursday night football prediction this year: Panthers Broncos Super Bowl rematch at 8:30 on NBC. Panthers, Broncos, your boy, Chris Collinsworth. He's going to get the call along with Al Michaels. Not Mike Tirico, who's there now.
Yep.
But Panthers, Broncos, who you got?
I got Carolina. Mm-hmm. I don't think the quarterback situation is going to be settled by week 1. I think they'll struggle. I think it'll be a close game because Denver's defense will hold them in that game. Mm-hmm. But I think with the addition of Benjamin being back and a hungry Cam Newton to kind of get retribution for his embarrassment in the Super Bowl, I think they'll win Thursday night.
Defensive battle? Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
14-10 Carolina.
All right.
That's
you even picked a score.
I even picked a goddamn score this time.
I'm impressed.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and that's gonna wrap it up for us this week. Mercifully, let's see if our predictions this year are better than last year, Mr. You had Baltimore and I had Indianapolis.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
But I think it was Baltimore, Green Bay, and I had Indianapolis. Green
we
Bay.
had the same franchise.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much. Except you picked Buffalo. But
Yeah.
Anyways.
I did.
They might make the playoffs this year, though. They got a better chance.
So.
They got a better chance this year than they did last year. But all right, this is the Football Talk Weekly Podcast, and this is a copyrighted podcast of the Gear Network. Damn it. Any rebroadcast or reproduction without the express written permission from me or my wife, who gives me dagger eyes, the executive producer, Mrs. Dawn Cimino, is strictly prohibited. So tune in, my babies. Another 2 weeks after week 1, we will be here, and we will talk some more football and more shenanigans for you. I promise, no Leonard Skinner next time.
I'd be pretty psyched if someone was rebroadcasting our podcast, actually.
We're rebroadcast on multiple platforms.
I know, but like if you just walked into a store or like a bar and they were playing our podcast.
Well, right, but chances are they would be streaming it.
I don't think you would be in there going, hey, you don't have right to reproduce that.
I more meant another podcast.
Get on the phone and call John. John, did you give these guys permission?
Did you give this other podcasting network locally permission?
Yeah.
No. I don't want them. This is me,
Take the listeners.
All right, so Brandon, good day to you.
Good day to you, sir.
And so long, everybody. Good night now.
Remember to see more National Football League action next week.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.